See what happens. Nothing happens. That's always good. To get this fuel pump off of here, we're going to do a full run video on old Pickle today if we can. And last time we did it, we couldn't get the fuel pump to pump up, so we think it might actually be bad. And I've ordered a rebuild kit, but it is on back order, so I haven't had a chance to rebuild that yet. But check out all the debris and junk that's in there. So get that back, I've got the back nut loose, pull it off, and brought a couple from the Horde out here. Maybe we can make it run from the fuel pump. Show you the inside of this. Doesn't look too bad. I'll put another one on it though. Scoop some of this dirt out so I can put the new one in. I say new from 1959, right? I think the neighbors know when I'm getting ready to record. They just hit the mower the minute I step in here. Let me get that back on. I'll turn you back on when we get a chance. So we're going to put that second line in here. And if you mess this up, you done messed up. So make sure that that goes in and kind of seats in that seat in there. And then just finger tighten these in there, because these aren't a standard thread. And this stuff is really soft, so if you booger it up, you're done boogered. I'm actually going to twist my line up just a little bit here. Alright, we are in. Tighten that up with a wrench. We're running this out this way so that I can put my Redneck engineered gas tank back out here so it's not running back to the bus where the tank would normally be. Just going to tighten it up. It is a 12 and just snug. It's not holding up the house. That should do it. There's my gas tank. I don't see any problem with it. Nothing bad will happen, right? It's got a stopcock on it. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. We'll just shut the lid down to keep her from falling out onto a running engine, though. Alright, the gas is all hooked up. We've got the ignition running from... You can't see anything, can you? Why didn't you tell me you couldn't see? Running from the coil behind there. That's this black wire. It's right here. Down to my 6-volt battery. And the jumper cables are going to control my starter, so I'm going to give it a hit. There is a squirt of starting fluid up in the carburetor. Put the breather back on so we hopefully don't have a fire, but we are prepared for a fire if we do have one. So So let me see if I can give it a crank and see what we get. It looks so funny sitting crooked in there. See what happens. Nothing. Nothing happens. That's always good. Well, if you all remember the last run video on this bus, changed out the starter for a newer one, but today it ain't working. So this is the old 50-year-old at least starter out of this bus, and it wasn't spinning at first, and sprayed a little free all. The solenoid isn't kicking on the one that's under the bus. This one though is working. Can you believe it? Let's see if I can get out of your way here. Nothing like working on the ground. How's that? How's that for magic? Right? Hopefully you can see that. Blocking the light. It's working. So now I'm just going to pull the relatively new one out of there and put the old 1958 starter back in. So I'm under old pickle here, and I got the top bolt out of the starter, but the bottom one, for whatever reason, is giving me fits. I got it loose finally. This is the starter we ran with it the last time. Why it is not working for us this time. Crazy. Can't get a wrench socket in there. Yeah, I'm gonna keep working on that. Alright, getting ready to put the old 1958 starter back in. Who would have thunk, right? Crazy. Just wanted to mention, when you stick a bolt in through there, it's hard to do that by yourself, to unthread it and keep this bolt from spinning. So just weld you a piece on the back side of that bolt, so that when you go to unthread it on the front side, it hits and won't turn. You can do that by yourself. Makes it a lot easier. I guess it matters if I cut in front of it. See what we got. Alright, see what we got. sounds pretty good. Oh, pickle.
Sounds like a Disney film.
Our new favorite spray, thanks to Dad, Freol. Goop up that leakage a little bit. I don't know that that's going to help, but give it a whirl anyway. Okay, I gave it another little tickle of fuel in the washer bottle gas tank. And I got to hook up the ignition and hit the starter. There's my ignition wire. Battery charger back up. Give it another hit. Well, I would say that's a runner. So now we can pull the engine out. And this winter I'll put that on a stand. That will go into the garage, and I probably should start with giving it a good clean. Take a look in here. How crazy is that? Get a flashlight and you can see down in there, it's bad. But it will run, so we've proven that. Thought I'd show you real quick how dirty, just how dirty this thing is. So the valves haven't been adjusted. It hasn't been officially timed, nothing like that. I just started it without doing any of that. Did the last time too, but see if I can shine a light down in here. Maybe you can see just how bad it is. He crusty. He very, very crusty. But, and it's sitting listed. I don't know if you can see that or not. I've mentioned this before. Let's see if I can get it down. The entire thing is sitting like that. I don't know what's going on. I honestly have not even crawled under there to look. See how it's dropped down right here from the engine bay. I am really happy that that thing took off as easy as it did. It starts easy. I know that it seems like it's just a... I know it seems like I just primed it and got it ready to go and then hit film, but that wasn't the case. Pretty much, if you can get enough juice to it to crank the starter over, it takes right off. So I was running a 6-volt battery for the ignition, and then I was actually on Aaron's truck, which is directly behind me. I was running a jumper cable wire, set of jumper cables back to his battery for the starter for 12 volts. So I may have to run 2 batteries on this thing, a 6-volt on one side and a 12 on the other, just to kick that starter over. But it's running on the 1958 starter, so that's even kind of cool. This old battery, the 6-volt I took out of there is a Delco, and it's completely bone dry. So I'm going to add some water to it and put it on the charger and see if we can see if it'll come back. We all know, all of you and I know as well, that that is never going to come back, but since the starter came back, now I want to try. See if we can bring that guy back. That side there looks a little bit moist. Oops. See what that one looks like. Yeah. We'll put some water in it. It says fill to the split ring. You can see I can stand up straight. Yeah, you probably can't see down in there. Right in there is a little split in that plastic ring, so we'll just fill it up. Focus? Fill it up to that point. See if we can't bring that back. That'd be kind of cool if that thing worked. I'm not real hopeful on that. But yeah, the fuel pump was the problem the last time for sure. That's a one out of another parts car that is over at my parents' place. And then I've got the one that came out of the bus and a couple other piece parts. The 36 ones are kind of hard to come by. This is the one that actually came out of it. Pretty clean looking inside. Turn my light on here. Looks pretty clean inside, but when this was hooked up, put that side in gas and then click this little clicker. We have to use a screwdriver. Hear that? It is not sending it out the top, which goes to the carburetor. So this one just needs rebuilt. There's kind of a little bladder inside of these, and it goes bad. It gets kind of dry rotted and pukes out. So we'll take that one apart, see if we can't rebuild it. But for right now, this one works fine. So I don't know. This is probably out of the 59 parts car that we have. I'm super excited about that. So next, I'll pull the engine out, do a compression test on it, to see where we're at. I can't believe this thing ran. I mean, I can, but I can't. It's just so crusty. But that's pretty awesome. I thought I'd take you underneath the bus since we have it up here now and kind of show you that, how bad it is underneath. So let me get on the creeper down there and we'll take you underneath the bus and show you what it looks like. I don't know how good this film is going to be. Check this out. Welded a piece of I don't know what onto a piece of I don't know what to make a jack point maybe? I don't know. It's pretty crusty. Of course my camera's making a glare. There we go. See the mud daubers have been busy already. Let me roll back a little bit and show you where we're at. Here's the front side. It'll be ready to drive tomorrow. Not. This thing is toast. Here's my hot wire job on the starter. Not making a focus, is it? There we go. Looks like a mess. The red wire isn't actually hooked to anything, that's the old wire. So that doesn't go to anything, just the blue, the black, and then this big thick black right here is the one I was running the hot to the starter for. See how that engine, you probably can't see it, but tips down right there. Creep under there, you might be able to see what's actually broke. So there are those rubber engine bumpers in there, and it looks like the one that's on the driver's side, the entire front of it is gone. So I hope that that's the only thing. That's what it looks like to me. It's just dropped because of the rubber compressing so much. Looked at that a little bit closer. Looks to me like the mount itself is racked. You see how that angles down right there? You got a bent frame or something there, I think. So not so simple as just a little bushing. We'll fix it. Bottom line, we're gonna get the engine out of there probably in the next couple of weeks and get that moved to an engine stand. And that'll allow me to put this thing on a rotisserie eventually. That's what we're planning to do. And that engine has to come out in order for me to do that. I'm going to show you the view all the way up front. Ain't he a peach? Picklelicious, is that what we're going to call this rust? Picklelicious. The original floor is there. I don't know how much of it will be usable, but it's there. They put that steel on top of it, whoever welded it. And these, you know, these weld jack points here, just killing me. This side over here doesn't look terrible. My phone's in the way, there we go. As far as that rocker, I think that's been replaced maybe? That looks awful good compared to this other one over here, which doesn't exist. That front nose, let me take you up there, that is crunchy. That might be a problem at some point. See that big gap? I don't think that should be there. Wow, what a project. You're all here for a while, right? Oops. Kind of a miracle the wheels even roll, isn't it? You look back this way. Need to slide a camera under a selfie stick for you. You can kind of see. The shifter's kind of boogered up in the cab, but everything down here looks okay. Linkage is just boogered up. Let me switch the... There's the front. That piece might be salvageable. Maybe. It's pretty bad, right? Maybe. It's pretty bad right there. Yeah. Under here. There are multiple areas underneath. I don't know if someone has sprayed like a, it feels like it's like a rubberized coating on there. Musty hates this stuff. I think it protects it, but it actually, when it starts to crack like this, it gets water under it. I hate it too. It is not good stuff, but that is blue under there. I think that's original paint. I don't know. Or did it have a repaint once in its life and they just didn't bother taping off and got the... I don't know. There's some blue hanging out up here too in the wheel well. Anyway, that is Old Pickle. I believe that is probably original right there. What do you think? Pretty incredible bus, really, when you think about it, how old it is. Well, folks, that is Pickle. Oh, one thing I was going to show you here. Hang on. That pile of rust is just from right here. I was trying to pull this front panel off to kind of see what we're working with. And I was beating on it with a hammer. That's what came out. Nice, huh? Scoop that up and take it to the salvage yard and see how much money we get. I'm going to put a football in here and pop that out. I hard to see that dent, but he's been busted in the nose a time or two. Popped in the nose. But sure does make it a lot nicer knowing that it's a good runner. At least we think it is. Haven't done a compression test yet. So thanks everyone for watching, commenting, subscribing. If you haven't seen the run video, I'll put a link in the description, as well as probably a couple of links in the video of the first run video we did on it, which was its 50th year anniversary, which was in December of 2018. I did check the oil. For those folks that are gonna say, you didn't check the oil, you didn't adjust the valves. The fun in doing a run like that. I'm just gonna pull this dipstick out so you can see it. Look at that. Full and clean. Alright everybody, that's a wrap. We'll catch you on the next one. Hang with me on this guy. We've got our work cut out for us. But it's going to be fun. So there's a channel I follow. There's a super awesome channel. It's called Curiosity Incorporated. And they did a Potter's House, is what he called it, series not too long ago. And there was a pickle rick inside the house of this Potter's House that they restored. And since this guy is nicknamed Pickle, I bought a sticker because I think Pickle needs a pickle rick. What do you say? Let's put that on there. Awesome.